What happens when humanity's pride challenges the very order God established? Genesis 11 is the turning point, a story of unity twisted by ambition and the moment God himself intervenes to scatter the nations. One language, one people. After the flood, as generations passed, humanity once again multiplied. The descendants of Noah filled the earth, moving eastward until they found a plain in the land of Shinar. It was here that they settled, all speaking a single language. This unity was not only in speech, but in purpose. They worked together, thinking as one people with one vision. But as history often repeats, their vision began to drift away from God's purpose and toward their own glory. The birth of an ambitious plan. The people began to dream of greatness. "Come," they said to one another, "let us make bricks and bake them thoroughly." They used bricks instead of stone and tar for mortar technology that gave them the means to build something unprecedented. Their goal was simple in words, but dangerous in intent. "Let us build ourselves a city with a tower that reaches to the heavens, so that we may make a name for ourselves. Otherwise, we will be scattered over the face of the whole earth." It was a direct resistance to God's command to fill the earth. They wanted to stay together, centralized, self-reliant, and unbound by God's boundaries. God comes down. But the Lord saw their city and the tower they were building. He knew their unity, combined with their pride, could lead them further into rebellion. God was not threatened by their tower. Nothing they could build could truly reach him, but he understood the danger of their unchecked ambition. If left alone, nothing they planned would be impossible for them, in the sense that they would pursue every imagination of their hearts, just as in the days before the flood, the confusion of tongues. God said, "Come, let us go down and confuse their language, so they will not understand each other." In an instant, the workers could no longer understand one another. Commands turned into gibberish. Plans dissolved into chaos. The unity that had fueled their pride was broken, replaced with frustration and miscommunication. Unable to work together, the people abandoned the tower and the city they had begun. The scattering across the earth. From that place, the Lord scattered them over the face of the whole earth. Groups separated by language moved into different lands, forming the beginnings of distinct nations and cultures. The city was left unfinished, and it became known as Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of the whole world. What had been an attempt to build a monument to human pride became a lasting reminder of God's authority over mankind. The line of Shem continues. The chapter shifts to the genealogy of Shem, tracing his descendants all the way to Abram, who would later be called Abraham. Through this lineage, God's plan for redemption would unfold, showing that even in scattering, his purposes were still moving forward. Reflection. The Tower of Babel reminds us that unity without God leads to destruction, but obedience to him leads to life. The scattering of the nations was not the end, it was the setting for a much greater story to come. In the next chapter, we will meet a man through whom God will promise blessing for all nations, a man named Abram.